So today I'm going to be doing a story time video on my experience on the Tyra Banks show. I hope this doesn't keep like flipping, like looking in my viewfinder, it keeps like flipping me back and forth. I hope it doesn't do that because I'd be super annoying to you guys and super distracting, and this is going to be a long video, I'm sure, because I have a lot to say. So as far as TV experiences go, before YouTube, well, I mean, I was on YouTube at the time, but before YouTube, I basically, from like 18 to 24, my main like focus was television. I wanted to be on television in any capacity, shape, form. I've been on over 50 reality shows, talk shows, just TV stuff combined. I've been on a lot of shit. I mean, that's a lot. 50, that's not including like background work, like being in the background. I was on like the show Dirt in the background and Modern Family and stuff like that. Just like, I'm just talking about like where I was featured as either a guest or a subject, like My Strange Addiction. I used to just kind of make my rounds because I did get money from these, and a lot of times these shows don't pay people that aren't in the union or just regular civilians, I guess. Tyra, thinking they could pull one over on me, was one of them because I was in the union at the time, and I told them from the beginning. They acted like they didn't know, trying not to pay me, but that's not even the worst of the situation. So anyways, I'm going to just start from the very beginning, a very good place to start. So the Tyra show actually contacted me. So a lot of times I would scour like looking how to be on the show or whatever, but the Tyra show contacted me about fake hair. I believe it was a season 5 premiere where Tyra was going to go completely natural with her hair. Bitch, it was a relaxed hair. She came on with like pin straight hair, and they're saying, this is my natural hair. That's not your natural hair when it's pin straight. If you have relaxer in your hair, it's not your natural hair. Just like me, I could never have my natural hair. Like they were saying, oh, we're gonna bring you on to celebrate your natural hair. I still have bleach ass blonde hair that they like styled and like primed for me. But I digress. So anyways, they found me and they're like, hey, we're doing a show. Is this flip-flopping? I hope not. I hope when I edit this is not, because it keeps going back and it's like giving me, unless I'm hallucinating. They're like, yeah, we're gonna have you on the show, and we want you to come with your natural hair. Like, I know it's gonna be a lot for you because we watch you online. Like I said, I had YouTube videos. My channel was not popping at the time, so I'm not really sure how they find me. I feel like America's Got Talent or any of these, they just kind of, someone's job is to scour the internet. So I was like, you know what, I want to be on television. The Tyra show was after. I was after at the time. I believe this was before it was SAG and after combined. And I was like, you know what, it'll probably be like $1,000, which is great. I'll get a trip to New York, I'll get to be on Tyra and get exposure. It'll be awesome. And all I gotta do is take out my extensions, cool. So I set out the kind of extensions I had in. And the first red flag should have been like, oh, we don't know how to take those out. You're in New York City, like fashion capital of the world, working on the Tyra Banks show. Tyra is like fashion model extraordinaire on her America's Got Top Model. Like they're always doing crazy shit to their hair. I'm like, how do you not know? They were just the micro bond extensions, and I was just like, how do you not know? So they flew my extension girl at the time out to New York with me, which was really cool because I liked her at the time, but I was like, you're gonna fly a girl from LA with her hairstylist because you don't know how to take out the extensions? So that was like the first red flag, whatever. So I get there, and I had just gotten the extensions put in when they had asked me, but I was like, you know what, I'll take them out. My hairstylist is with me. She can put them back in afterwards, no big deal. And it wasn't a big deal. They made it seem like on the show, like I was like, so I couldn't go without my hair. And when I actually got on the show, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. They're trying to make me seem like I was distressed over it. I really wasn't distraught. I was like, bitch, the fucking extensions, I'll put them back in, I'll take them out, put them back in. Like, it's not that crazy. So, anyways, they did our little like BTS sort of thing. VTS? Streets. VTS, video on the streets, VTS. Where we went to like Central Park, and then we went to that fancy hotel and did like little like makeup things, and they kind of just do like the whole like intro of the show, like to introduce you. You see it on Dr. Phil and stuff, like the Catch Me Outside girl will be like, my mama, she don't know anything about me, and then she's like all posing tough. She goes, I smoke weed, and then she'll like smoking, you know what I mean? Like it's that kind of stuff. So it's kind of the same thing where I'm just like, I love my hair extensions, this is how much they cost, I'm so fucking superficial, and they'll like feed you the stuff they want you to say, and if you're not saying what they want you to say, they're gonna like hammer 5,000 questions and ask you 5,000 different ways until they get that soundbite of you saying something like, I just love being fake. Like, you know what I mean? They'll ask you the questions like, oh yeah, I have fake hair, I have fake eyelashes, and they'll be like, so do you love being fake? And I'd be like, yeah. And then like say it in a full sentence, I love being fake. And then there, boom, there's your soundbite. You know what I mean? All shows do it, not just Tyra. Whatever, not a big deal. I was used to it. I was like, fine, cool, whatever. So then I get on, so then the day of the show happens. And or the day before the show, and you go in, you do the VTS, whatever. Then you do the thing before the show. I don't know, just kind of like meet them, whatever. I meet my producer, or I don't know if it was the producer I was talking to, I can't remember, or just a producer on the show. So fucking rude. I have never ever had someone so fucking rude. She looks at my nails and she goes, "What are those?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, they're like my nails, like acrylic nails." She goes, "Those are absolutely the most disgusting things I've ever seen. Like, that's disgusting. Like, why would you even get those done?" I'm like, "I don't know, it's a style in LA right now. I was just trying to be polite. Trying to be sweet." I was like 21 or 22 at the time I did the show. And she goes, "Those are actually so hideous. You need to have them removed." I said, "Well, I just got them on. They were like a fresh set," because no one said anything about my nails. It was all about having your real hair. It was not about being a real bitch. It was just like real hair. And even Tyra on the show was acting like, you know, you can play with weave and color and everything, but it's fun to be natural too. You know what I mean? That was like kind of the message. Like, yeah, have fun. Like, enhance yourself, make yourself feel pretty, but like also you can rock your natural hair. And I liked the message of it. And I was like, okay, what do my nails have to do with fucking hair? Just got them on. They were so fucking expensive too here in LA. They were like the wide tip ones, and you know, when you get the fresh nails on, like when you get a brand new set, they're all like cemented in. They are gonna stay. They are gonna last. They don't lift. So she's like, "You have to get those taken off." And I said, "Well, no one really told me." And then she goes, "Well, I don't care what someone told you. You have to get those taken off." And I said, "Okay, well, are you guys gonna pay for them? Because I just got a brand new set." And she literally was like, "Fuck no. Are you fucking kidding me? You come with those gross nails." Like, just like cursing at me. And my mom was flying in, but she wasn't in there at the time. And then my hairstylist didn't come with me because they were very like weird about it, where they're like, no, like even for the actual taping of the show, my hairstylist, the extension girl, who was actually my friend, like couldn't come to the taping of the show. They were really, really weird about like who could come. Like, me and my mom were at separate hotels. Like, they said we weren't allowed to see each other. Bitch, we met up for dinner. I was like, what are you talking about? Me and my mom are in New York City. We're not allowed to see each other. It's not like we're like fighting on the show. Like, the fuck? But yeah, so they were really weird about having people around, and so no one was really around, but this girl was like cursing at me. I had another point of contact there, and I'm like, this girl is being so rude to me and blah blah blah. And they're like, "Do you realize you are on a national television show tomorrow? Like, you should be thanking us." Like, this other girl started being like fucking cunty. Anyways, roundabout, I'm like, "Well, I'm not gonna get my nails done." Like, and at the time it was 100% sure. I said, "Don't have money." They're like, "We'll use your per diem money." Like, per diem money, if you guys don't know, is money they give you to buy food while you travel, because like when you travel, food is expensive, especially when you don't make a lot of money, or even if you do make a lot of money, it's expensive. It's an extra cost that some people may not want or allow or whatever. So they give you that. They're like, "We'll use your per diem money," which would have been, to get my nails off and get a new set was like $100, which is your per diem for the day. So basically, I can't eat then. And I was a broke bitch. Like, I really couldn't. Like, I remember my mom came and like saved me. I had to eat dinner with her because I literally had no money. Like, no money at all in the bank account. Like, when I say no money, like I overdrew. Because you can overdraw and like pay a $35 fee, but you can overdraw like $200, and that's what I had to do to get the cash out, and I still had no money. So I was like negative in my bank account. So I go and pay and get the nails off. I get like a pink, like a light pink color. I go the next day and they are like, "What the fuck did you do to your nails?" And I said, "Well, you told me to take them off." And they're just like, "And like get natural nails." And they were my natural nails. And like, "No, you need nude." Oh my gosh, like, oh my gosh, can you not do anything? Like, they were just being so fucking rude. So I'm going to get my hair done, whatever. They're like, "Someone needs to come and get the nails." Like, "You do realize this is an added cost for the show." Now this time they're still thinking like I'm not getting paid because they don't pay any of their guests. This is what I found out, right? So they're saying, "Do you know what an added cost this is to the show?" I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, "It's okay, Trish, you're getting paid for this, you're getting paid." That's what I was saying in my head. So I'm getting my hair done. Someone comes in and puts like new nail polish on. It was like the worst manicure in my life, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point. It wasn't even a manicure. They literally painted it and it was like so sloppy. Then the person who was doing my hair, because my extensions were already out at this point, the person who was doing my hair just like the whole time was just telling me how fried and gross it was, and like how I shouldn't bleach it, and it's like terrible, and no one likes bleached hair anymore, and how it's outdated, and blah blah blah. Like, literally just all haters in real life. I'm like, does everyone just fucking hate me on the show? But he actually cinched off my hair. Like, the first time I had broken hair, it literally, he used such a hot, I think he honestly, like, and I'm not saying this in any type of way, but I think he used like the same sort of relaxing straight iron like Tyra uses, because it was so intense. My hair like broke off in like a straight across way. Like, it was just, it went and just cinched. So it was just like a straight blunt breakage, as opposed to like, you know, my hair is always breaking because of bleach and stuff, but it breaks off in different places. It's different. This was like clearly a flat iron. As soon as it touched it, it went and it like half inch across. It was so bad. They masked it pretty well, masked it pretty well for the show, but it was, you guys, it was so bad, and I didn't really even realize the extent of it until I got home and like brushed through my hair, and it just like was just completely like buzz cut. It was so bad. I have a picture I posted on Instagram, like it's like the buzz cut. It was awful. It was so bad, and it was broken off. I didn't really realize at the time what caused it, and then I realized, I was like, oh my god, yeah, that was probably what it was. So I went out and they kind of like smoothed it over, whatever. They like hit it real well. There was like bobby pins, even though it was my natural hair. They like smoothed it over and like faked it, if you will. So anyways, it was a big fiasco. They actually end up buying the outfit for you because they do like, it's like I guess it was like a makeover, make under show where they wanted to like tone you down everywhere, which I wasn't aware of. I thought it was just, you know, the hair. I didn't know it was like outfit and makeup and just nails too. So they bought you an outfit, whatever. The outfit, the original outfit they bought me didn't fit. And they're like, did you gain weight? And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you don't even fucking know me. And I was like, no, what are you talking about? They're like, the sizes you gave us, did you gain weight? I said, no, those are the sizes. Like, I can show you my jeans. I was a size 12 and I like, this is what it was. You know what I mean? Like, those are my sizes. And they're like, well, none of this stuff fits you. And I said, okay, cool. Well, I came in this outfit, which was like a cute outfit. Acceptable for TV. And they're like, oh my god, no, you cannot be seen on TV in that doesn't even fit you. Like, just so fucking mean. And I was just like, I was like in tears at this point. Like, I honestly was like crying. I didn't want to do the show. I've cried like 3 times on TV shows, and this was the one where I definitely was like the most vulnerable. If you guys want to know about the other 2 shows I cried on, it was Bank of Hollywood and Celebrity Name Game. Celebrity Name Game wasn't an overall bad experience. The wardrobe person made me feel like shit on there too because they told me my bra made my boobs look gross, and I was so self-conscious about my boobs at the time. And then Bank of Hollywood, I cried because it didn't even air because they also were so brutal and made me look so stupid. Like, they like just started making up stuff that I didn't even say on the show. I looked like an idiot. I was so embarrassed, and I cried on that one too. But Tyra, I cried so sincerely. Like, I didn't want to go on the show. Like, my makeup was ruined. They're like, what's wrong? And then all of a sudden they like, it's like good cop, bad cop. Then like a nice producer comes in like, oh my god, girl, what's wrong? Like, some girl I never even talked to, and I told her about the nail thing, I told her about the hair thing, I told her about like everything. And she goes, oh my god, no one should be talking to you like that. We're gonna call this girl B. Remember B later on in the story. So she kind of calmed me down, whatever. And then she's like, we're gonna reimburse you for the nails and all this stuff. I was like, okay, cool, I have the receipt, whatever. Calm me down. My mom, I heard her out in the hallway getting her hair and makeup done. Like, your mom's really excited to be on the show, B said. I was like, okay, cool. Like, you know what, whatever. Let's just go do this show. Like, I'm here. Like, whatever. Let's just do it. They ended up finding clothes from like Zara. There was like this ugly ass sweater they gave me. I mean, I kind of looked like a grandma on the show. I was a little matronly. I mean, the dress was like kind of cute. I thought it was oversized for me, too large, too big. Of course, I don't know. Maybe I do wear clothes that don't fit me, but I like it. I like squeezing my button and stuff. But anyways, so I went out, it was whatever. I mean, they literally redid that so many times, like my intro. Tyra had to redo her line so many times, like, and that's not even me being shady. I'll be shady in a second towards Tyra, but like, that's not even me being shady or anything. Like, she just couldn't like get it together. Like, had no idea what I swear she had no idea what the show was about. Like, when I came out, she's like, oh, and then she like looking around and she goes, what is this story? Did you just not watch? The VTS played before I came out, like, even in the audience. Did you just not watch that whole thing? Did you not know the show is Natural Hair Day? Like, didn't you do a monologue about it? Like, you know what I mean? And I think I was the first guest, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure I was like the first one out. So I'm like, what? And then she's like, I don't know this girl's story. I don't know this girl's story. Someone tell me what I'm supposed to say to her. There's like a teleprompter. So anyways, it was supposed to be like an ad-lib part where I come out and she was supposed to be like, how do you like your look? I think that's what she said. But someone had to feed her those lines, like, how do you like your look? Something so simple, just like easy. Then we go over and sit down. She is like looking at the teleprompter the whole time, and I don't think I made eye contact with her once, so I don't even know if it's a real human being in there, if it was a machine. Never made eye contact with her once. She just like always was like looking out this way, like if this is the camera, right, or you guys are me, like, and I'm having a conversation with me, she was just like, okay, so then this, and then I would talk, and then she's like waiting for the next teleprompter thing. So this, like, just literally had probably no clue what I said. Literally nothing. There was no, you know when you watch like comedians on like late night talk shows and there's like good rapport, like they're listening to what you're saying, even if you go off script, because even they have script, you know, you have this sort of banter, you can, you know, listen to what the person says, you have a reaction, you have a facial reaction. She had none. She's like, so then, you know what I mean? So I would say, like, I could say this whole heartfelt story, and then she's like, okay. And then she'd be like, so what you said, and I was like, oh my god. So then my mom comes out, or my mom's in the audience, and she goes, okay, so you're Trisha's mom? And she's like, yeah. And she asked questions about it, whatever. And then she goes, and now Callie is your granddaughter, Trisha's daughter. And my mom's like, no, Callie's my daughter. She goes, okay, so your granddaughter Callie wants to be like Trisha. I'm like, and I think that even got left in the air. Because I remember I didn't say anything. I was like, what am I gonna do, make her look stupid? My granddaughter, like her granddaughter, my daughter Callie, which is my sister, and I told the producers, I'm like, what is this show? It was so weird, so cold. As soon as the camera shut off, like, Dr. Bill doesn't talk to you, but like, he doesn't like make small talk, but he shakes your hand and he's like, thanks for being on the show, whatever. That's like about the extent of that. You know, some people are very sweet. Like Greg Barrett, for instance, Maybe I'm biased because he's like my friend. But the original talk show I was on, the very first TV show I've ever appeared on was the Greg Barrett Show. He wrote the book He's Just Not That Into You, and the movie of the same name. He had his own talk show for a season. He had me on it, and we are still friends to this day. I love him more than anyone. I saw him when I was in New York a couple years ago. I talked to him literally a couple weeks ago. Like, I love him so much. And he was someone who just made conversation. But a lot of people do. Jay Leno, for instance, is very personable. I'm trying to think of like other shows. Like, Supreme Court of Comedy, it was Jamie Kennedy, Kevin Nealon, and Don Herrera. Like, they make, you know, you talk in between because that's what you do, like on a TV show. Judge Alex even, you know what I mean? Like, those people are, there's just a personable connection because you're like humans and you're in vicinity and if you're working on something, you don't need to be best friends, just, you know, have a fucking conversation, whatever. No, nothing at all, like not even a thank you, nothing. She's like just looking, because I think there was a commercial break when I came back, or if there wasn't, we were just picking up shots, but there was something where there was like definitely a break. And during the break, no one was talking to her or anything. She was just like this the whole time, like the whole break. Just like waiting for that teleprompter to turn back on. And she's just like, and then I'm sitting there like so nervous. I mean, I'm a young girl too. And she seems so personable on like America's Next Top Model. No, and so she's just like staring, whatever. I tried to say something like, oh my God, you're so pretty or something like that. Like literally either didn't hear me, pretended not to hear me. Like I don't even know what the fuck. If there was a Mandela effect, that was one. I feel like she was just like a being of Tyra in the moment. It was so weird. So anyways, it comes back. She gets the entire story wrong. She's like, okay, so we're here with, and she totally just made up a fucking different name than what I am, than what my name was in my story. It was so weird. They cut it, I was cut, it was done. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, well, we're gonna stop it here, thank you, whatever. I was like, what is this bullshit? So anyways, yeah, we went with Tyra, then people came around her, and I was like, oh, well, can I like thank Tyra? And they're like, no. Okay, cool. Like, you know, I just thought it was respectful to at least thank the host, right, for having me on, even if your whole crew was cunts. Anyways, I was so over at this point. Like, they got everything wrong. My mom was just, the nails, the hair, I mean, it was just all a lot for me. So anyways, when it came time to try and collect money, because I, again, was a broke ass bitch, and I had paid $100 on nails, and I had to use my mom's per diem, and like all this stuff like that, I was just like, okay, so, and then anyway, so they were about to like let us go. I was like, okay, what about the per diem? And like, we're gonna mail you a check, and I hadn't filled out, well, I filled out paperwork like as a release, which probably had my address on that, but I was like, usually you have to fill out tax documents, and then with after you fill out like a union form. And I was like, hey, I didn't fill out like a union form or anything like that. And they're like, oh, well, we don't pay guests. And I said, okay, well, I'm in AFTRA and I'm a guest and I've been on talk shows before, like the Greg Barrett Show paid me, like, you know what I mean? They actually were the ones that helped me get into AFTRA because I was on so many episodes, like, no, you have to like pay me. Same thing with America's Got Talent, I still get residuals from that and stuff. And they were just like, did you make someone aware of this? I said, yeah, and I told them my producer's name, I can't remember at the time, and they were like just rolling, huffing, puffing, and they were like trying to get me out of there and like not have these papers, and I was like, so basically they kind of pushed me out of the place without having me sign papers or giving me a per diem. Well, I pressed this so hard. I called the fucking AFTRA, which is so fucking annoying, calling unions and shit, trying to get someone, and I said, hey, like, they're ignoring me, they pushed me out, this is what happened. Oh my God, and the kicker of this was like so nightmare. So my hairstylist and my mom and I were all supposed to be on the same flight home. We met her at the airport. They canceled my hairstylist and my mom's flight and only just had mine. We got there and they're like, we don't have, these flights were canceled. It was so mind-blowing. It was so crazy. There was only one flight left. So they had canceled, but there was only one seat left. And both my hairstylist and my mom had to get home. And so we called and we were like bitching, like we were gonna call, like I remember even saying like we were gonna call the news stations. Like this was fucking crazy. They were gonna they like canceled our flights home. Like for a big TV show to do that, like that's fucked up shit. And this was before I like called about AFTRA and complained or anything like that. I didn't do that till I got home. So this was like, we weren't making like that big of a ruckus. Like we left because obviously we're not fucking ratchet ass people that are gonna like be fighting tooth and nail to fucking stay until we get paid. You know what I mean? I was like, I'll just handle it when I get home. So my hairstylist, oh, so B, remember B in the fucking story? So we call her and we're like, oh my God, like the things are canceled, whatever, the one that was being so fucking nice to me. And she goes, listen, you have been a bitch the whole time to everybody, like just get the fuck out of New York. What? And this was I think the first time I was in New York. And this is why I had such a bad taste in my mouth from New York. I have since been to New York City. You have redeemed yourself in New York City. I love New York City actually now. But this was such a bad taste. I thought, oh my god, everyone here is so fucking mean. Like, and just so rude. And like, honestly, it was like I was like bawling at the airport and like bawling on the phone. And like, they weren't helping us. So anyways, my mom ended up, or they ended up getting another ticket. My mom ended up taking the seat because my hairstylist was like, hey, like, my husband will pick me up. You girls are, you know, mother-daughter, like, you need to get home, so you guys get home together, and, like, I'll just wait for another flight. My husband won't understand, and blah, blah, blah. And she, you know, had money and stuff like that she could afford to, like, stay another night. Not that it made a difference, because we still were gonna ask for that fucking money to be reimbursed. But yeah, so I don't know if she ended up staying in New York or she caught just a really late flight. So my mom and I ended up getting back on the flight, whatever. It was the fucking craziest experience. My mom said they were, like, super rude to her, too, and, like, I don't know, I don't know if she had like such a terrible experience. My mom's actually pretty low-key. I'm like, I can be dramatic as fuck, but honestly, this was like crazy for a TV show. And I even said that to people like at the time. I was just like, you know, I've been on a lot of TV shows, and I wasn't being like cocky or anything, but I was on a lot of TV shows before that, like reality shows and talk shows, and they are usually like very kiss ass, like they're, until like, you know, they don't need you anymore. Even with America's Got Talent, they do tend to treat you like royalty until you're done off the show, you know what I mean? Even Dr. Phil, like, they have a car service for you and pick you up, like, sorry, I'm like, my phone's blowing up. So, they usually do treat you, hold on, 1 second, this is distracting. Sorry, that was, like, actually so distracting. But yeah, they usually treat you just, like, really well. I mean, I've had some TV shows just, like, go above and beyond, you know what I mean? Like, give you your own trailer, like, get you special food if you want it. Like, they really, really cater. Like, even the Great Barron Show would, like, get me extensions to put in my hair for me and stuff. Like, they were just, and they were also supposed to pay my hairstylist to put my extensions back, which also was, like, dragging their feet on. But this was just, like, the rudest. Like, I was, like, shocked. Like, I honestly felt like I was being, like, a nuisance. Like, I was, like, a pest they didn't want. I was just like, but you guys contacted me and want me on the show. And they tried really hard to get me on the show because there was, like, conflict after conflict with me. And I remember they were just like, we want you on the show, we want you on the show. And, you know, they were trying it. They were trying real hard to get me on there, and I go on there. And I wasn't, like I said, I was not a fan of Tyra. I never was, to be honest. So I wasn't like I was, like, dying to meet Tyra Banks or be on the Tyra show. I just thought, okay, this show contacted me, cool. Like, I'll go on it, like anything, you know, Ellen, whatever. It was just so crazy. Like, it was honestly, like I said, just the rudest. I've worked on like 1,000 TV shows. This is by far, I've always said this, like the worst TV experience I've ever had. Like, even the other ones where I cried, there's usually like, if there's like one bitch on the show, which is usually why I've cried on these shows, like there's 50 other people that are gonna be very sweet and overtly and overcompensating, full of like niceness and caringness and making sure you're okay. But this was just like 1%. The other was just a bitch, a bitch, a bitch. It was so fucking crazy. There wasn't like one nice person. Even the nice person B ended up being like, you've been a fucking bitch this whole time. I was like, it was insane. Like, if I was vlogging back then, I would have fucking recorded this shit. Like, it was so crazy. Like, I would have exposed this a lot sooner. I mean, the Tyra show is done and canceled now, but I watched Tyra on America's Got Talent, and I can just see, I don't know if other people can see, you guys can let me know if you know, do you guys ever watch a Tyra show, like Tyra's Talk Show, America's Next Top Model, America's Got Talent now? And do you see the fakeness, the like, just the blankness that she just does not give a fuck? Like, it amazes me that she still gets hired for these jobs and people still like her. It was such a weird choice when I saw her on there. So I watched America's Got Talent. I just can't get past her. I don't know if it's just because I've had a bad experience, but I would love to know your guys' thoughts. But thank God that show was like down. I heard stuff later on about that show that had complaints and stuff, but in conclusion, if you guys want to know where are they now, I finally got a check from After, which took probably close to a year, and I really needed the money, but it took a year. I still get residuals from the Tyra show. I don't know where the fuck it's airing, but I'll get like 13-cent checks here and there. I was getting like $100 sometimes, you know, like a couple years ago from it. So I did. After don't mess around, Union don't know mess around, you know what I mean? And I had to explain something. It was just a nightmare. We did get reimbursed for the nails because that's the only thing I had a receipt for. Everything else I paid for out of pocket. So annoying. But yeah, and we didn't get a per diem for the last day. Oh, and we did get reimbursed for the travel as well. I don't know if I did make like a video or said something online where maybe they got a little scared. The internet is an amazing thing these days. Social media is this very powerful tool that companies, it's like you can complain like to Southwest or Virgin America, like face to face, and they're gonna be like, fuck you, bitch. But as soon as you make a video or like tweet, they kiss your ass. And I don't even think it means if you have a lot of followers. I've seen people with like 100 followers, you know, say like, hey, what the fuck is up, Verizon? Like, your customer service sucks. And they'll be on that shit because it's just all word of mouth with social media. Like, something gets around, like it's like, you know, it's bad, it's damaging. And, you know, if it's true, don't let companies silence you. If what you're saying is true, they can't silence you. Even with West Coast Customs or whatever, they're saying like, I had a contract that said like, you know, I can't slander. I'm like, I wasn't slandering. I was giving my honest review of an experience I had as a customer. Like, I wasn't saying like, go burn in hell, West Coast Customs. I was just saying like, the customer service was rude and this was my experience, and it's not like they gave me a discount, but even if they did, I would give a fucking honest opinion. You know what I mean? And it was just, it's like, don't let them silence you. And a lot of times they'll say, we'll get our lawyers, like, let them. And then, you know what, here's the thing, lawsuits are expensive, and big companies will bully these little companies, and bitch got money now. Fucking come sue me. Are you fucking kidding me? My lawyers are fucking getting paid all day, every day. Like, I'm always, you know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't even faze me. If someone says, sue me now, I just like laugh. I try it, bitch, try it. I'm in lawsuits, I'm in mediation day after day. You know what I mean? And I don't, it's not a brag, that's just truth. I ain't scared of it. It's fucking money. It comes and fucking goes. You wanna sue me? I fucking counter sue you, bitch. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anyways, and then there are some battles that just are not worth fighting. This one, like I said, I was happy to just get my union rates for it and get our things, but some battles are not worth fighting. Like, for instance, my birthday club fiasco, I disputed it, I got credited back by my bank, and then they ended up showing receipts showing alcohol that was used that night, and it was just one of those things where it just wasn't worth it. Even my lawyer was just like, you know, it would be a small claims issue at this point. He goes to even sue for that amount of money. There's no, like, you can't get lawyer's fees, like all this stuff like that. So it just wasn't worth it. I was like, fine, if they want that extra $2,500, even though they canceled my party early, whatever, like, fucking, you know, I'm done. So you gotta definitely pick and choose your battles and the money if it's worth it. Some people are like, I have this issue right now with someone who wants like $1,800, which I don't owe. Look, when it comes to money, I will pay out. Like, I am not that bitch that's gonna like try and hold money that is like rightfully yours. But if you're just trying to get money out of me just to get money out of me, that is not part of our agreement, that is just so you just think you're owed that or you're entitled that money, like, bitch, no, like, try it. And he's like, well, I guess we'll have to hear what a judge has to say about it. I'm like, bitch, sue me. You're gonna sue me for $1,800? Like, good luck with that, bitch. Good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, but like I said, that's just a whole other thing. And I am someone, like I said, with good conscience and everything. Money is something I don't fuck with. Someone else's money, my money, like, I don't fuck, you know what I mean? I don't want to try and take money out of your hands or, you know, food out of your mouth. Like, that's just not me at all. And even people I can't stand, if I owe them money, I send them a fucking check in the mail. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just that bitch. Like, I am. You know, because besides being legally right and ethically right, I mean, like, human being, it should just be like, this is their money, it's right, you know what I mean? But I am, when it comes to my business and my music and my just career, I'm very like contracts, and like I have them set in stone for a reason. Sometimes I feel bad telling people to sign contracts, but you gotta do what you gotta do and protect yourself, your assets, boo. But yeah, it's so funny these days with internet and stuff. Everyone's like, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you for that. I'm like, and I just tell people sometimes, I'm like, you can sue whoever, obviously you can sue anyone for anything, but like, pick those battles, you know what I mean? Like, and it's just funny when people like threaten to sue people. Bitch, try it, you know what I mean? Not even just me, I see other people, I'm just like, do they even know what this entails? Most of the time they probably don't. It's like fucking 5 years before you get your $1,800 back, not just through me, but with anyone. And I'm just like I said, this guy, I circled the stuff in the contract, I'm like, bitch, this is it. Okay, anyways, I'm not going into it, it's just not worth it for me, but I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this Tyra experience. Would I probably sue the Tyra show? Probably not, because like I said, at the end of the day, it just costs you more money to get that $400 back for that flight. It sucks. It's a lesson learned. You can share it on fucking Yelp or like I am doing on YouTube. And you just keep it moving, and hopefully those people get it back. Like, I think about B to this day. I'm like, I hope she gets it back to her. What was the one? Oh, I remember the one. The other producer's name started with an E, who was a fucking bitch. Oh my God, awful. Anyways. That was my Tyra show experience. Kind of a weird story. Like, a few years later, I actually went back to New York to do a press tour for Guinness World Records Unleashed, which was on True TV, and I got to actually go on this press tour with the host, Dan Cortese, which was crazy. I was the only contestant that got to do this promo, which was awesome, especially because I didn't even break the record, but I got to go on doing my scale of fast talking on the Al Roker Weather Morning Show on the couch. Maxim and Times Square. Like, it was really cool that I got to do that. And I actually went back to the soundstage where they shot Tyra to do, I think it was The Couch. And it was like really cool to go back there and be like limo status, VIP status, and have a good positive experience with New York and media and television. I actually really love New York. I've gone back numerous times with boyfriends and stuff, and I actually really, really love it. So anyways, that was my story time. There's probably so much more. It was so long ago, and to be honest, I blocked a lot of it out because it was so bad. But those are the things that stuck out in my mind that I remembered. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So many people have been asking. It's been long overdue, and I had some time to tell it. So if you guys want to hear more TV experience story times, let me know. I feel like I've only done Dr. Phil. Did I do a My Strange Addiction one yet? I don't remember if I did. But yeah, I've been on Ellen, My Strange Addiction, Who Wants to Be a Superhero, The Greg Barrett Show. So many shit. So if you guys want to know any more about anything, let me know. Anyways, I love you so much. You are my sun and my star. Shut me, Shaki, on, and here are my kisses from all the way. Bye, guys.